Hello again, friends. I'm Mother Sylvia here at St. Mark's with my friend from our church, Miss Chris, who is ready to tell us another story for the 40 days. So take some deep breaths and get nice and comfortable and listen or sing along with the song and get ready to hear a story.
Only in silence the word, only in dark the light, only in dying life. Speak to us, God, your life-giving word. Only in silence the word, only in dark the light, only in dying life. Speak to us, God, your life-giving word.
Miss Chris, will you tell us this story?
Glad to. The death of Samson. It's not such a glad subject, but that's the name of the story. After the 40 years of Deborah's peace, the Hebrews' troubles began again. The Philistines conquered the Hebrews, who were now known as Israel, the name God gave to their ancestor Jacob. During this time, a baby was born who was named Samson. He would grow up to be a judge in Israel. Samson the child was not like other children. Samson the man was not like other men. He was so strong that he once ripped apart the jaws of an attacking lion. He was a mighty force for Israel against the Philistines. The Philistines were desperate to know the secret of Samson's strength. They hired a woman named Delilah to pretend to be Samson's friend. Her job was to get to know all of Samson's secrets. The Philistine leaders promised Delilah a lot of money to betray Samson. Samson fell in love with Delilah. He did not mind when she asked him the source of his strength, but at first he teased her. "If I were tied with 7 raw leather bowstrings, I would lose my strength," he said. While he slept, Delilah tied him with 7 leather bowstrings and summoned Samson's enemies. But he snapped the bowstrings like cotton thread, and so Samson was not captured. Then Samson said, "Well, if you tie me with brand new rope, which has never been used, I will lose my strength." Again, Delilah believed him, and again, her plot failed. Samson broke the ropes like spider webs. Delilah got mad. She whined and wheedled every day, bothering Samson so much that he decided to tell her the truth. "I am a Nazarite," he said. "Nazarites make promises to God about how they will live. One of the promises I made is to never, ever cut my hair. If I cut my hair, I will lose my strength." While Samson slept, Delilah cut his hair, and the strength began to leave Samson's body. His enemies came and gouged out his eyes. Then, binding the sightless Samson with bronze chains, they led him away to prison. In prison, no one thought to cut Samson's hair. His sight was gone forever, but his hair and strength were growing. One day, Samson's enemies made a great feast. They brought Samson out of prison to make fun of him. Samson was led into the banquet hall and placed in the middle between 2 pillars that supported the roof. He could not see, so he asked the boy who was leading him to place his hands against the 2 pillars. Samson had a plan. By this time, thousands of Samson's enemies had crowded into the temple to jeer at him. As they laughed, Samson prayed for one last burst of strength. He pushed against the temple pillars with all his might. The pillars cracked and the temple roof collapsed. All of Samson's enemies died that day, and Samson died with them.
Wow, that's a really sad and scary story. But how courageous Samson was to use his last bit of strength and to give his life to help his people. There are people who God calls to do that. who give their life so that other people can live. Of course, that's even what Jesus did. Pretty inspiring. That is a story to ponder tonight. I wonder what you think of that story. Talk about it with your family or with a